Hello, everyone. So today I finally got the chance to watch All the Old Knives. This is a brand new Amazon Prime Video movie. It just came out on Friday, so April 8th, and it is about an hour and 40 minutes long. Its director is Janice Metz, and it has a decent cast to it. So we have Chris Pine as the main character, Henry, Tandy Newton, Lawrence Fishburne's in this, Jonathan Price, so it has a pretty solid cast. So without further ado, I'm going to get into my review for All the Old Knives. So yes, let us get into it. This movie is about two CIA operatives, being Chris Pine's character and Tandy Newton's character. They were CIA operatives and former lovers, but this kind of spans two timelines. The one that we take place mostly in is 8 years after a major terrorist event where a hijacker takes over a plane, kills everyone on the plane, and there's kind of suspicion 8 years later that an operative from the CIA could have been in on this attack. And they just kind of think that there's no way it could have happened without someone from the inside being involved in it. It was just kind of like, how could these things could have been missed? This person was on the radar. Basically, a case is reopened, and that case reopening is given to Chris Pine's character. Sandy Nunes has retired from the CIA. She is living in Caramel by the Sea. So basically, the two of them get back together to re examine that mission from 8 years ago and try and figure out who, if anyone, was compromised in the CIA at the time. So this is a very old time, I don't even want to say espionage, but kind of like spy movie where it's not going to be like your James Bond or Mission Impossible. There is no action involved in it. It's all very dialogue heavy, story driven film. So it can be extremely slow at times, especially when they're bouncing back to the same event, the same scene that you've seen a few times over and over and over again. But I did find that this movie actually did a good job bringing something new to each time they re-showed a scene, or just kind of a new perspective was gained or given by someone trying to cover their own tracks, or just they're scared out of their minds that they think they could just be the fall guy for a mission that went wrong. I find a lot of movies don't do that well, where you're just watching the same thing over and over and over again and there's no new context involved, but this movie actually did give quite a bit to it. Again, it's extremely slow. Not that there's really any pacing issues in it, it's just very dialogue heavy, so it can be a tough one to get through. But if you are paying attention and listening to the characters, kind of studying it as they're studying the situation, I feel like this actually is a very good story. If you're not, you're going to miss a whole lot of what's going on in this movie. You're not going to get it by the end of the movie. But I found that the end, even though it was a very slow burn, did have a decent payoff, something that was believable, something that was exciting, could be a little bit shocking too. And of course, the performances are all very, very great throughout the supporting cast and the main cast as well. It's just very good dialogue, smartly acted, smartly written. Again, it's slow, but it is a good story by the end of everything. It is very cinematic in its filming, and just kind of it's just very ponderous and character driven Cold War style film. It is, again, it's just a very intriguing story with good twists and a lot of depth in it. But really, like, some of the bad things that can happen with it is the story can end up being a little more heartfelt and bypasses most of the cliches that kind of plague this genre a little bit. Like, really, everything's explained and it's all decent, but again, it could just be a little more heartfelt than dark, as I think this movie would have benefited from in its storytelling. But I was very intrigued by it. It's very nice direction, great cinematography. It's never boring, really, if you're paying attention to the story, because it is very well told. But again, if you're just trying to hop into something to watch, it is going to be a very slow burn for you. And I do feel like a lot of people, if you don't like the dialogue heavy movies, this one's not going to be for you. But yeah, even though it can be a little bit predictable at times, like, I can get that too. You can't really call the third, like the back third of this movie. I found that, again, just very smart writing, and just, again, a very good build up to what was a solid movie. So with everything taken together, I do want to say that I would give this a bit of a higher score, but I do feel like it's a lot of a slow burn for something that's not quite super original or really amazing in so many ways. I'm gonna have to give The Old Knives a 6 out of 10. I still do highly recommend it if you like the more story-driven, slow spy espionage films. Because again, very good acting. It's just a lot of the time it's kind of dragged back by some predictability, probably way too much dialogue in scenes where they're just filming characters too much of them not really doing much. Like, I feel like if it was edited a little bit better, this movie could have been close to 10 minutes shorter, maybe even 15, and it would have just fixed some of those pacing issues and sped up the movie in ways that would have benefited it. But yes, if you've seen All the Old Knives, please let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. If you like this review, you can definitely give it a thumbs up and check out everything I do on the channel for players down below. And for convenience sake, I'll link some up top here. So thank you for subscribing and turning the little ringer on. If you want to check out everything I do Twitch and live stream wise, there's a link to that in the description of this video, and of course my channel bio. In both of those places, there is a link to the Media Mountain, which is my Discord, where we talk about movies, video games, comic books, TV, pretty much everything that's awesome in this world. So you can definitely join that amazing community. I'll make it even more amazing than it is already. And yeah, just awesome, guys.